million people would walk through these halls every day. But that was all before. Welcome to the Small Talk. I'm your host, Marwan, and today we have 5 special guests that are going to be telling us about their experience during the quarantine. Our first guest is Francesco. Francesco, tell us how this quarantine's been for you, man.
So the pandemic affected me, like, I have to say, a lot, but I mean in a good way. I have to be honest. Like, I'm loving this time in New York with the quarantine. When it started, I was really stressed out about my life. Like, many things were happening, and like, New York is a crazy city, so it makes you go crazy sometimes as well.
Well, that's one way to look at it, man. Now, weren't you supposed to go back to Sicily or something?
No, yeah, sure. I was supposed actually to go back home, but then this is kind of funny. My mom and my sister, they live together. So I said, oh, I don't want to stay locked in a house with 2 women.
Word, yo. Now, on another note, do you actually wear a mask?
No, yeah, I do, but you know, I bicycle ride everywhere. So when I'm riding, I don't really wear it. But if I have to go somewhere or I have to wait in a line, actually, I feel like a kind of a pressure that I have to wear it. I feel like pressured by that. But this is a funny story. I was in the park, in the middle of the park, and I was like laying on a tree, like taking a little nap, like in the afternoon. And like one lady passed by, and she like pointed the finger at me. She was, "Shame on you!" I was, oh, please, I'm not near no one.
Shame. Shame.
Thank you for your insight, Francesco. We'll turn to our next guest, Ginia. Ginia, did you ever think that the virus would ever be this bad?
Well, actually, in the beginning, when all that was happening in China and then in Europe, I didn't think that it would come to Russia. And once a coworker, like our IT specialist, he asked like if I thought that we would come to the point that we work from home, and I was like, of course not. Like, you panicking. And next scene, he is helping me to do the remote desktop. So yeah, like, I didn't even think that it would come to that point, and I couldn't imagine it.
The virus is rapidly spreading in Russia. Confirmed cases spiked by almost 10,000 in a single day on Thursday.
Well, I hope you're staying cautious. Now, do you wear a mask?
Well, I got a very stylish black mask, so of course. Now, I saw a very funny meme like yesterday. There was like a girl, actually, a blogger, Russian blogger. She was wearing a mask, and some of her followers were asking like, "Oh, why? We thought you didn't believe in coronavirus." And she said like, "Okay, coronavirus is like religion. Maybe you don't believe in it, but you have to like follow the rituals." So yeah.
I couldn't have said it better. Now, you're at home, you're quarantined. How are you staying in touch with everyone?
So my parents and I, for Easter, for example, we had that online breakfast that they put the computer on the table. So it felt a little bit like we were having breakfast together. So that helped, that cheered them up. And my boyfriend and I, well, he lives in a different country. So we do those Skype dates.
Oh, that's so cute. Now, joining us from St. Joseph's Hospital is Sally. Sally, how's it at the hospital now?
Just recently, it started becoming better. Like, we feel like it's back to pre-COVID days where people are coming in with regular stomach aches or, just regular complaints. But towards like the beginning of April, every single patient in the ER was a COVID patient. We had a lot of patients that were admitted to ICU, but we had no ICU beds. available. So the ER turned into ICU, telemetry patients.
That's crazy. So I also know that you had the virus. How did that feel like? Like, what did you feel when you had this virus?
This is how I'm gonna go, because I had patients that were young, in their 30s and their 40s, and who passed, who I myself put them in body bags, and all these pictures, like images of people that I put in body bags, and they were so young, started like coming to me and like, wow, this is how I'm gonna die as well. But thank God, I recovered, and I'm back at work.
Thank God you're okay now. But what motivates you to like keep going to work every day?
Because this is what I love. Like, nursing is what I love. I love helping people. It's my job. Like, I love what I do.
Honestly, God bless. Let's turn to our next guest, Rebecca, who recently flew from Germany to Taiwan, I think in early March. Rebecca, tell us how was this flight?
On the way back to Taiwan, when I got on the bus and then got to the train station in Germany, like no one's feeling like caring about this. People know it's getting really serious. I think there are already like 10,000 cases in Germany when I left, but people are still like, okay, I know it's serious, but they don't really feel it. Like even I would say I don't really feel it. I can only read this on the news. And then once I got to the airport, like everyone's starting wearing a mask. And then when I got on the airplane, everyone was like dressing like they are going to a lab, wearing those like wide protecting clothes. And I even saw people wearing goggles.
So tell us like what happens after you land then.
Everyone who comes back from other countries will have to do like a 2 weeks quarantine. And then it's really, really strict. Like they kind of like, they check our cell phone. Once you got home, they will send you like a text and tell you like, you cannot go out at all. If you go out, you will get like, I think US dollar 3,000 to 30,000 fine.
Man, $30,000? That's crazy. Now, what do you plan on doing after this whole quarantine thing ends?
I'm going to travel because I mean everything is the same in Taiwan. I can meet friends, go to gym, go to restaurant, watch a movie. Like the life is like the same in Taiwan. So the first thing I'm gonna do is just to travel.
Honestly, I can't wait to travel either. Now let's turn to our next guest. He's a former CDC expert and epidemiologist actually, Mr. Dean Seneca. Now, Dean, when did all this start for you?
So, about 2 weeks before the nation's so-called experts came out and said, we're not prepared for this. I literally made a bold prediction, and I could show it to you. It was in an article in Indian Country Today where they said, "Are we prepared?" And I was kind of hem and hawing around it, around the answer. I was like, well, we're kind of. Let me do some homework, I really kind of studied up, and literally, the feeling just came over me. I instantly called the reporter from Indian Country Today and said, no, we are not prepared.
What do you think the new normal is going to look like after this?
You're going to see people with masks. You're going to see people with safe social distancing, to do that as common practice now. You might see restaurants and things a little less crowded than they were before. I mean, at first you're going to see a big explosion into into crowds and gatherings and things. People are just haven't had it. But I do think that there's going to be a big part of America now that used to, go out at night, go out to dinner with families and stuff, and will think, let's roll that back, and we can do that at home because we don't want to get sick.
Which one caused more damage? The coronavirus or the flu?
So this COVID-19 has definitely done more damage. It's changed everybody's life. than the flu was. You know.
Now, I'd like to thank all our guests for joining us today. And remember to like, press the red subscribe button, and follow us on Instagram. And that's our small talk for today. Until next time, stay safe.
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 Stay safe. Stay safe. Stay safe.
Stay safe, everyone.